जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजना वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपीजना वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजना यशोदानंदना ब्रज जनरंजना यशोदानंदना ब्रज जनरंजना जमुना तीरा वनचारी जमुना तीरा वनचारी जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जयो जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जयो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा जयो श्री चैतन्य श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Jayo Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan, Radhe Jayo. Jayo Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan, Radhe Jayo. Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada Jayo, Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Prabhupada Jayo. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Hari Bol. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manavishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayham Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uttapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Vyavacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So welcome to our Sunday Feast program, ISKCON of Silicon Valley. Today we don't see many devotees because all of them are in LA for Rath Yatra. Thousands of devotees are right now. Probably the Rath Yatra is already over, I guess. But yeah, beautiful festival going on. Srila Prabhupada established the headquarters of US ISKCON headquarters in LA, and it's a beautiful temple there. And because it is the western side of America, like in India, Gujarat is the western side, and we have Dwarkadhish there, Rukmini Dwarkadhish. So similarly, Prabhupada named the temple in LA as Rukmini Dwarkadhish temple. So it's not Radharani there, Rukmini ji. And we have beautiful Jagannath deities, and they have Rath Yatra today. And so Gandharvika Mataji, who is in charge of the Sunday Feast program, she requested me to hold this program. I said, okay, fine. It's a pleasure to serve. So I was thinking what to speak on today's program. Then we know that in few days Balaram Jayanti is coming, Lord Balaram's appearance day is coming. And I thought let's discuss a little bit so that we prepare ourselves to, celebrate that program better. This is also the day of Raksha Bandhan in India, popularly known as Rakshi, where the sisters, they tie, Rakhi to the brothers for their protection. I was in ashram for so many years, like 20 years, I guess, a little before that. So my sister used to send me a Rakhi every year. And I didn't know Rakhi Purnima was Balaram Jayanti before coming to ISKCON. So I would take that Rakhi and tie it to Balaramji, saying, protect my sister. And appreciate like that. Anyway, so, but then when we come to ISKCON, Hare Krishna movement, we get to know about our culture, about our, the power of India's spirituality, much more than just hearing from, here and there, from parents or grandmother, grandfather, stuff like that. Because in school and colleges, the spirituality is practically null, zero, right? Nothing is there. So, thanks to Srila Prabhupada, really, we would never know what is Bhagavad Gita, what to speak of Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. Now devotees here in ISKCON of Silicon Valley are distributing Srimad Bhagavatam in mass, literally. And that's amazing because that wealth of knowledge was actually hiding. It's like fire covered with ash, like Krishna gives the example. Knowledge is like fire, but it is covered by ash and other things, then you don't see the fire, which can burn the ignorance in our heart. So, yes, so Srila Prabhupada has actually, out of his infinite compassion, in a world that is so impossible to accept spirituality, and it's designed in a way that education system and other aspect of life is designed in such a way that it just like, you cannot put water in a lotus leaf, just throws it off, they put water in lotus leaf, it throws it off, right? It is like hydrophobic. Similarly, the design of as such material world is not God-centric, it's like away from God, like our own enjoyment, that's what we think. So, especially in a time and age when things are so much of deep in ignorance, Srila Prabhupada struggled very hard to bring out this knowledge. And that's actually is the compassion of Lord Balaram. He is the Guru Tattva. He is the original person who wants to glorify Krishna and bring everybody to Krishna's lotus feet, right? Or connect with Krishna. That's Srila Prabhupada's one of the main thing. Huh? I think there is some prasadam, please. Yeah, very well. So that's Balaramji's main aspect to connect to people to Krishna. He's the original Guru, one of the aspects that we know about him. And Srila Prabhupada has brought that compassion in a very powerful way, in a very inconceivable way, actually. It's inconceivable the way it is. And I was just talking to a devotee friend who came to drop me on the way, that how this knowledge of Gita is so nice, it is so nice, so enlivening, so much of clarity about purpose of life. Whether we are able to execute it nicely or not, that is one thing. It's always a challenge living in this world which is not designed to, help us to do things. But very expertly, Srila Prabhupada and his servants, like His Grace Vaishika Prabhu here, they're engaging all of us in a way that we can connect with a spiritual activity, spiritual path, in a very intimate way. It's amazing. It's amazing, actually. Despite everything, things are happening. It's simply amazing. And that's Srila Prabhupada's contribution. Srila Prabhupada was actually loved Krishna very dearly, and he was very happy staying in Vrindavan. Like Radha Damodar temple, small place, small kitchen. He has a bhajan kutir. He was writing Bhagavatam's translations there. But because his spiritual master, gave him a standing order that you go and preach. So he was always thinking how to do it, planning, and looking for opportunity. And it came to pass in due course of time, but it took a lot of time. But he was happy living there because like if you look at these paintings of Krishna and there is Balarama is there, Brahmaji is offering prayers to Krishna in one painting. So if you look at those pictures and we see that Vrindavan is actually a very nice place. And when we hear that, we get a desire to go there. How many of you have been to Vrindavan? You have been to Vrindavan? Yeah, yeah. Prabhu must have been. No, not yet. You too. Have you been to Vrindavan? No. You have a desire to go? Yes, you have a desire to go. So yes. What about Prabhu? You have been to Vrindavan? Yeah. Not yet. It's okay. So. When I heard about it, I had a desire to go, and I was in India, so it was not. Actually, it was difficult. They say without proper blessings, you can't make it there. So we missed the train to Vrindavan, and so many things happened. Our taxi, the cab, got caught up in the traffic while going to the station. First time when I was traveling, and then we took another train. Then like that, we finally reached. It was a whole big story. And we realized we can't. Then while coming back, the train, there was some confusion. We went one day prior. And when we went to our seat, somebody was already sitting. Then they looked at our ticket and said, it's tomorrow. So we had to go back to Vrindavan. So I felt, we can't leave Vrindavan without permission also. That was an interesting episode. Anyway, so because Krishna lived there, literally, the potency is so strong and such a positive, vibrant spiritual environment there, those who have a spiritual nature, they would naturally be inclined to stay there. And Prabhupada, of course, is, very high standard of spirituality. I mean, he's pure devotee. So naturally, he was very much at home in Vrindavan. In fact, he says, Vrindavan is my home, and Mayapur is my place of worship, and Bombay is my office. He used to say like that. Anyway, but despite all these comfort, spiritual comfort that he was always planning to come out and preach and give this knowledge to us. Why am I saying that? Is because Vrindavan is the place where Krishna and Balaram did their childhood pastimes. That's why Vrindavan is very, very attractive. We should not compare like this, but in one sense, if we look at our own life, you will see the best part is our childhood. Yes or no? Yes, isn't it? Best part of our life is basically childhood, when you are loved a lot, and of course it's not very general case. Some people have very bad childhood memories, unfortunately, very unfortunately. But generally, the childhood is, lot of free from unnecessary desires and all those things. And yeah, our life is pretty good, childhood life. Yes, right? A lot of freedom. And so similarly, Krishna in various incarnations performed various pastimes, right? But the childhood pastimes is specifically seen in Vrindavan, nowhere else. The God incarnated and did pastimes. A childhood pastime is only in Vrindavan, nowhere else. Lord Ram's also childhood pastime is described in Ramayana, but very little bit. Very tiny portion of Ramayana is Lord Ram's, but his majority is going with Vishwamitra, then fighting and killing Tanaka, and going to Mithila and getting married to Mother Sita, breaking that Dhanus, and then again going to Vanavas and killing Ravana and coming back. So that is Lord Ram's story. Very little is written about his childhood pastimes. But when you speak about God's pastime as childhood, that is Vrindavan. And just as I said, in our own lives, the childhood times are the best time. Like I used to say, like we used to preach to the youth people earlier. I used to do a lot of youth preaching. So we tell that when we were in school, we're thinking, if we go to college, we'll have more freedom. Like you come to home not at 4:30 or 5 p.m. sharp. You have some flexibility, right? And when you go out to study some other places like university, then you have more freedom, right? Then you become more happy. But when we actually move to some university, some campus to study, we see more anxiety, stress come in life, because we are thinking, now if I get a job in such and such company, then I'll have more happiness. But as we progress in life, we see every step we go ahead in life, we lose something that is more precious. Gradually you understand. Then people think, if I get married, the last thing, that I'll be perfectly happy, then that also, I mean, I shouldn't say because I'm married. My wife is watching online. Yeah. But the thing is, you lose some freedom. There is a responsibility that has to be executed for a higher purpose. Some sacrifice has to be made so that we serve better. That is there as we grow in life. But still, the childhood pastime is where you experience maximum happiness in a general way we speak. So the Lord's pastime as children, as kids, is Vrindavan. Therefore, everybody, all the great sages, Satyabrat Muni, Narada Muni, they all think about these pastimes constantly, Krishna's childhood pastimes, because they're the best. It's considered to be most sweet and fantastic. But the Lord doesn't have to display any power. Power is still there. In the sense of fighting war, like Lord Ram killed 14,000 Ravana's army in 1 hour. And not a single perspiration came to his head, because he was killing 14,000, but it didn't perspire at all. He was so powerful. And Ramayana is just described. But in Krishna Balaram's pastime, in childhood, it is nothing like that. They just play, and while playing, some demons come, they kill them, and they remember that they're hungry. The kids, when they play a lot, they forget that they're hungry, right? So the demons comes to help them, honor the food that's given by the Mother Yashoda and other, ladies, mothers who are in Vrindavan. So they sit down to eat, take a break. So anyway, but the thing is, sometimes we feel, what is there? What is there in Krishna that makes it so sweet? Or what is there in Balaram that makes it so sweet about the childhood? Like, if you look at, if you go to any parent's home, they speak about their kids a lot, naturally. Right? My kid is like this and that. She is such and such, or he is such and such. He likes to play mridanga, or he sings well, or she plays harmonium nicely, naturally. So people glorify their kids naturally. And even uh, we have a dog, for example, Hansapriya and me, we have a dog. And we say, well, he hears Bhagavatam all day long. Because we have a 24 hours kirtan going on. And he eats prasadam, hears Bhagavatam, is a very nice Krishna conscious person. So like that, we also glorify our kid, in that way. But when it comes to Krishna Balaram, what happened in Krishna, they're living in Vrindavan, all the families would glorify Krishna Balaram more than their own kids. They're so attractive. They're so sweet. The parents would glorify Krishna Balaram more than their own kids. So that's like one powerful example where we can understand that what fantastic pastime it must have been. I mean, I'm not able to describe. I'm not qualified also. But in one sense, such references really puzzles me. That how powerful it must have been, Krishna as a child. Putana, she was sent to kill Krishna, for example. She was sent to kill Krishna. But when we saw Krishna, her motherly affection overwhelmed her. Overwhelmed her. And she forgot that she has come to kill him. And because of that powerful experience that she experienced, Bhagavatam describes that Krishna gave her position of mother in spiritual world after she was liberated from that ghastly sinful desire and so she was liberated. Krishna liberated her, but gave her immediately position in spiritual world. That is the compassion of Krishna. But the thing is, yes, Putana saw her and she was like, my child, That the experience, immediately she got that experience. And even Kaliya, it is said, when he looked at Krishna in the Yamuna, because Kaliya didn't want anybody to be in that area, in that part of the Yamuna she was residing. But when he saw Krishna, he was also attracted. And he was thinking, who's this so beautiful? Then immediately he realized, this is coming to disturb my area, taking over my power position and all these things. So immediately when he tried to attack, he saw Krishna as death personified. So what happened? The thing is, the first time anybody sees Krishna, there is attraction. And Krishna gives a chance, very good chance, to become friend. But then because of our own selfish desires and ego and everything, sometimes we are not able to connect to that powerful thing. And that's where the Guru, spiritual master, and the mercy of Lord Balaram comes into display. So the difference between Krishna and Balaram, there is a lot of discussion on that. I like to hear sometimes, at times I hear His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj. He gives very nice, beautiful, reflections. And he exposes many inner aspects that are very nice to understand, helping us to understand. And one thing he said about Balaram is, he was born in Vrindavan, because Rohini was in Vrindavan, but Krishna was born in Mathura. But that is all discussion. Jiva Goswami says Krishna also was born in Vrindavan. That's a different thing. But in general, Balaram was born in Vrindavan. So in that way, he is like, when you want to glorify somebody, you have to see the positive aspect compared to others. So yes, he was saying Balaram was born in Vrindavan. And his expansion of everything, that is for the pleasure of Krishna. Like Vrindavan Dham itself is Balaram's expansion. When Krishna wants to lie down, he becomes Ananta Sesa. Like, I don't know how many of you know, these snakes, their body are a little cooler than other animals. Prabhu knows, Prabhu is nodding his head. So if you lie down on any bed, the bed becomes hot, then you are not comfortable for a long time. So they're doing the water bed and other things they do nowadays. But Balaram why he's taking a snake shape? I was thinking all this. You're sleeping in bed, snake is like this. We will scared and all. Like Lakshmi is massaging feet and there's a snake. But no, that's the best bed, basically. And Balaram doesn't mind. No, he is beautiful any way, any form. There is a place in Gujarat where Krishna decided to leave from this world after closing his pastime. It's called Pravas Khetra. And I was there, and there they saw me a place. There is a big hole, something that is going to Patal Lok, something like that. They say Balaram actually became Ananthasesa and went through that down. They told me. So it's amazing, snake bed and Lord lies down on that. If you go to Ranganath, other places in South India, there are beautiful deities, huge deities. Ranganath Swami they call, they're lying, Padmanabha Swami lying, and Balaram. Jananta says. So Lord Balaram was born in Vrindavan, and he was waiting for Krishna to come so that they can start the pastimes. And while in Vrindavan, Lord Balaram, mostly the demons came to kill Krishna because that was the main threat for Kamsa, because that was the Akasvani, that the 8th child will kill you. So he was scared of Krishna mostly, as he was sending all his powerful people. So finally this Pralambasur was sent. Pralambasur, I'll just discuss that one thing about that Balaram actually annihilated. So he came as he thought, I will not kill Krishna because all of my allies were powerful than me also, some of them. Krishna has killed them effortlessly. So he is dangerous. Let me not try to kill Krishna, but let me try to kill Balaram. Okay. If I kill Balaram, then Krishna will be so upset, so morose, that he cannot keep his life. He will die. So that was his plan. Everybody makes their plans. So he made his plan. So he came in disguise as a cowherd boy. And they're playing. Some game they're playing. If you lose the game, then you have to carry all other members of the team on your shoulder. That's as a reward, for punishment for them, reward for the winners. So Pralambasur played with Krishna because he didn't want to kill Krishna. So when Krishna's team won, so he chose to sit on Balaram. Well, Balaram is when they play, they forget their God actually. So he just took him on his, he was walking. Then what he saw that this person is taking him in different directions. Oh, sorry, Balaram was winner. Balaram was sitting on his shoulder. He took Balaram on his shoulder and he walked away from the group. So Balaram was thinking, why this person is walking away? Then he started growing in his size. His mystic power. Mystic powers are not false, by the way. They're not false, they're true. Anima, Laghima, these are all powers. And we have seen them in some cases we have seen them. Like Prabhupada used to say, when he was a small child, one yogi came to their house. And he asked Prabhupada, what do you want? Prabhupada said, I want a pomegranate from Afghanistan. Something like that. Oh, I want a pomegranate. So he did like this, and he bought a pomegranate and gave it to Prabhupada. So that was his yogic power, Prapti, it's called Prapti Siddhi. If you have written the autobiography of Yogi, there is, Paramahansa Paramananda. So when he was a kid, he became a big yogi later. He has written his own autobiography. So when he was a small kid, he and his sister were sitting, some yogi came. The yogi told the kids, close your palms. So they closed their palms. Then he said, he asked the sister, what fragrance you want? in her palms. She said, Mali, no, Mogra. And she opened her palm and full of fragrance of Mogra. There was no flowers, but the fragrance. And he said something, and that fragrance came to his palms. So these are like mystic power in small scale. And these, the Kamsa's allies, Kamsa himself, they're big yogis. Even Hiranyakashipu, they're all big yogis. Ravana, big yogi, big powerful yogis. A lot of tapasya they have done. They have attained a lot of power. So, with his yogic power, he started growing big. But the idea was to kill Balaram. And Balaram suddenly felt, what's happening? It's like suddenly in the Disneyland. Huge. So then he felt a little bit fear for some time. Because, see, our fear is because of ignorance. Ignorance, like if it is very dark, you don't know what's happening, where am I going, then you're fearful, right? Ignorance is cause of fear. There is fear, there is ignorance. Or ignorance results in fear. And dark, you get scared, right? Simple. So, lack of knowledge of God, that is also ignorance, and that also causes a lot of fear. So, bhayam ditya vinivesasya, Bhagavatam says, that isha upeksha. Suppose we turn our face away from Krishna, and that is ignorance, and that immediately fear will be there. So although the yogis are very powerful, they're also scared because they're away from Krishna. But anyway, Balaram's experiencing fear is like Bhaktichara Swami, he was reflecting on that. His fear is, he was so merged in the play with Krishna and other cowherd boys, he forgot himself, who he was. Krishna says, just remember who you are. Don't be scared. Remember who you are. Who is Balaram? He is Balaram. He is a powerful person, and all the power, nothing. All the entire cosmos is because of his power. Its generation is Sankarsana, right? So then Balaram made his fist tight and gave him a big mass on his head, and finished. Pralamasur finished. So Pralambasur actually reflects, because he came as a disguise as a cowherd boy, disguise. So it is said that he is like, we are going as devotees, but if we have some other desires apart from being devotees, apart from sincere service to the Lord, then that aspect is Pralambasur. So every demons in Krishna Lila, Bhaktivinoda Thakur Pad, he compares to one anartha in us, basically. And Lord Balarams actually can help us to take away all those anarthas by his mercy, compassion. He can finish. There's one fist, finish, over. But then that process, how it is going to happen, we don't know. So we have to just submit and carry on. So Balaram is known for destroying all the evils. But then he had a compassion side also. Like for example, he was compassionate to Duryodhan, for example. Duryodhan, the Pandavas' primary enemy, Duryodhan. So it is said, he taught him how to play Gada. But then it so happened that one of Krishna's son or grandson, I think son or grandson, I'm sorry, who actually fell in love with one of Duryodhan's daughter, right? Lakshmana, her name is Lakshmana or something. Yeah, right? And they decided to marry, but then Duryodhan didn't like it. They rejected the proposal. So Krishna said, let us, the Ugrasen, the king, he thought, let us go and fight and bring the girl. Okay. But Balaram said, no, I taught him, this war and war technique and all. We can figure it out. I'll sort it out. You don't worry. So he himself goes. And he camps outside Hastinapur and sent a messenger. Then Duryodhan says, actually, Ugrasen is a small king under my monarchy. How dare he can say like this? Now he speaks very lot of pride, full of pride, and didn't respect Balaram, who actually has come all the way, who taught him how to fight in a proper way. He was his teacher, but he was disrespectful because of ego. We are who they are. I am who they are. What kind of request is this? So the messenger came and told Balaram, this is what he's saying. So what Balaram did, he put his plow like this. Then entire Hastinapur was under that thing. Then he was trying to drag the entire Hastinapur into the Yamuna. Duryodhana and everything else. Everything was pulling to Yamuna. Then they realized they all came and they said, sorry, and everything. And it was resolved. But the thing is, he was compassionate, but he would not tolerate anything that is not nice. So another instance, so when the Mahabharata war was about to happen between Pandavas and Kauravas, so they wanted Krishna and Balaram to fight on some sides, right? So Duryodhan came to Krishna before Arjuna could come. He was very quick in action, planning and getting things done. So he reached first, and he sat. Krishna was taking rest, so he sat next to Krishna's face. So whenever he gets up, he'll request him to fight on his behalf. Then Arjuna came a little late, and he sat in Krishna's lotus feet. So naturally, when Krishna opened his eyes, whom does he see? The person who's sitting at the lotus feet. So he looked at Arjuna. He said, Arjuna, when did you come? Then Duryodhana is saying, I came first. I'm the first one to come. Krishna said, but I saw him first. So let me finish with him first. Then Krishna asked Arjuna, what do you want? Why you are here? Because he is the Lord. He fulfills desires. Why you are here? Then Arjuna says, actually, I want you to be with me in this war. Krishna says, but Arjuna, you know that I'm not going to fight. I'm just going to be there, that's all. I'm not going to fight. Are you sure you want me or you want my army? Who's going to fight? And Arjuna says, no, Lord, I just want you. And Duryodhana was thinking, what a fool he is. He was getting already happy that it's such a bad choice he has made. So Duryodhana then, he takes the army and Arjuna takes Krishna with him. And then Duryodhana goes to Balaram. He wants him to also come and fight with him. He was trying to accumulate all the strength. Because he was thinking in his mind, if I have more strength, I will be winner. That's it. This is the way the whole world is, mindset. More money, more power, more everything, I will be the winner no matter what. But it doesn't happen like that. And that's the thing that we have to understand. Anyway, so Balaram says, it's a very sad thing that you guys are fighting, Kauravas and Pandavas, cousins, and I don't want to be part of it. So he kinds of retires or takes to a renunciation spirit, and he goes on pilgrimage. So when you want to retire or renounce, then best thing is to go to holy places and just spend time meditating and doing all those things. Which will calming and nice. So Balaramji left. Then the war happens. Then everybody got killed and things like that. Finally, Duryodhana was the only one who was remaining. So now Yudhishthira Maharaj gives a proposal to Duryodhana that we are 5, you are 1. So Duryodhana says, please don't fight all five of you with me alone. I want to choose one person. The Yudhishthira says, okay, you choose any one of us. And if you defeat one of us, then you are victorious. So the other four are thinking, what is kind of proposal? He's always throwing like this, putting us in trouble. And suppose he says Nakula, Sahadev, and the younger kids, and he's a powerful warrior, and it will be over, Any five of us, any one of us. But Duryodhana had some sense of, he said, I will fight with Bhima, because Bhima was the most powerful. And throughout their Vanavas, Duryodhana was very, very much practicing. Practicing. So it is said, Bhima was very powerful, but Duryodhana was very skillful. He was very expert in skills, fighting skills. He was power, but he's skillful. So you can understand, in a material world, this is more important than power, because if you're skilled, we may come around and do something. So he was more skillful. And all throughout his 14 years, every day, he would fight with a big, huge iron figure of Bhima. He has made a figure of Bhima, and he was beating Bhima, that iron, actually beating himself. Anyway, and he was waiting for the day. And by the time Balarama actually finished his pilgrim, and he was there to witness the fight. And it is a rule among Kshatriyas that you cannot hit under the belt. It has to be from here or top, fight. And interestingly, Duryodhana had taken a blessing from his mother that his body is like iron, nobody can break it, but except the lower part. So now, the war was going on, they're beating each other. For days it was going on, not ending. They're getting tired. Then Krishna told Bhima, that you have to hit him under the belt. So, when actually Bhimsen did that once, Balaram felt very disturbed. He said, hey, he cannot do like this. That's his compassion side, and lawful, dharmic, and all those things you can say. So you can't do that like this. This is wrong. And Krishna told Balaram, actually maybe I have taken him on one side. He said, you see, when Draupadi was about to be stripped in that assembly, Bhima took a vow that because Duryodhana was showing his thigh, trying to pull Draupadi to sit on her thigh, his thigh. So Bhima said, I will tear apart that thigh. Right? So Bhimsen had taken a vow, and for Kshatriya, the vows are very important. So for him to hit under the belt is not wrong. So Balaram accepted. Because it was again according to rules and laws. So he was following the rules and laws. Balaram is, Guru Tattva. So those are the things. So then, okay, Bhimsen finished him finally. Anyway, so this is Balaram. Before even coming to that Kurukshetra war, he went to, while going on pilgrimage, he reached a place where all these rishis are sitting in Namisharanya, and that thing was happening. Before, maybe after, I don't remember when, the sequence. But yeah, Maharshana, he was sitting there, and when Balaramji came in assembly, all the sages stood up, because Balaram is Supreme Lord. Because he was sitting in asana, he thought the asana has, some prestige, so he doesn't have to get up, or something like that. He thought like that, something which is wrong. So Balaram says, you are sitting and trying to give discourses on the Lord's spirituality, but you don't have the humility that is required to, basic step to, actually give discourses. So he comes, takes a straw, because humility represents straw, because straw people step over, the straw still lies down, no complaint, nothing. So he takes the straws and hits his head, and that person dies, and Vyasasan liberates him. Then all the sages said, oh, we sat down just to hear about your glories, Krishna's glories. Now what will happen? Then Balaram is actually a very humble person. He said, Oh, should I bring him back to life? He's asking, because he has that power. They said, no, 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 whatever decision you have made, that cannot be wrong. Let us not do like that. Then he empowers his son. Then he speaks. So that's Balaram. If he says something wrong, his anger, transcendental anger manifests and he fixes things straight. But when he came as Lord Nityananda, and even as Lakshmana in Lord Balaram's pastime, he was very different. He was submissive and he was accepting whatever is said. Of course, Lord Nityananda's pastime is a little different, but coming to Lakshman, Ram's younger brother. So some narrator told that actually Lord Rama is not the hero of Ramayana. Although he killed Ravana, who is the most powerful, he is not the, the hero. Lakshman is hero. So they asked why. Now because more powerful than Ravana was actually his son Indrajit. Indrajit, who had some boon that nobody can kill him. Only that person who was not eaten for 14 years. 14 years can kill him. Only that person who's practiced brahmacharya strictly 14 years can kill him. So then Agastya Muni was guiding Lord Ram. He said Lakshman is the person. Then Lord Ram said, Lakshman? How come he was with me in the ashram and Mother Sita was there? So if you look at a woman's face itself, no more brahmachari. That's the standard. So Agastya said, no. He never looked at Mother Sita's face. 14 years. Then Lord Ram recalled, actually, when the jewelries Mother Sita threw in the forest while Ravana was abducting, and those jewelries Hanumanji and others collected, we showed the jewelries to Lakshman. He only recognized the ankle belt. But other jewelries, he couldn't recognize. He said, I don't know. So he has always looked at Mother Sita's lotus feet, that's all. Not beyond lotus feet. That was Lakshman. And but then Lord Ram said, I was giving fruit every day. It's not that you didn't eat. He said, you used to give me a fruit and said, take a fruit. So I used to take it. You never said eat it. So I never ate it. So he said, you never told me to eat. You just said, take the fruit. I took the fruit. I didn't eat it because you never told me to eat it. And what happened to the fruits? He said, I used to give it back to the forest. Then Hanumanji, Lord Ram called Hanumanji, go and check. Now because the fruit was touched by Lord Ram's hand and Lord Lakshman's hand, they would not wither. They were not rotten. They were fresh like that. We should go and search it out now. Anyway, so Lord Ram said, go and find those fruits. So he went, he found them, he counted them. The 4 less for 14 years. So Lord Ram said, so 4 days you ate it, that means. He said, no. Because the day Lord Dasa departed, the news you got so bewildered, so shocked, you forgot to give me the fruit. The day Lord Mother Sita was abducted, you forgot. Like that 4 days he says, well, Lord Ram actually forgot to give him to eat. So that's why Lord Ram said, you have sacrificed so much for me. There cannot be anything more than this, So in one sense, he is the Guru Tattva. So he is showing by his own example what dedication is, what sacrifice is. There is no limit to it. And this, you have done so much for me. From my next incarnation, whenever I come, you should be my older brother, no more younger brother. Because I torture you so much. So like that, then Balaram, of course, eternally, Balaram is always elder to Krishna, eternally. Only in that pastime he has come as younger brother. And there he showed what it was. So anyway, so Lord Ram says, you should be my older brother. This is too much. Have made you go through so much of sacrifice. So he killed Indrajit finally. Yeah, and the day he was hit, one day he was hit, Lakshmana was hit by an arrow, right? And he was like on the floor. That day also he forgot to give him fruit because he was shocked. That one, fourth day I don't remember. Anyway, so the Lord Nityananda comes. He actually follows all of. Can you say to Lord? Yeah. I think it was a ringtone. It's gone. Anyway, nice ringtone. So Lord Nityananda, he comes as elder brother, but sometimes he obeys Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, sometimes he doesn't obey, right? That's elder brother. Elder brother doesn't have to obey everything. Like he told him to keep the danda, sannyas danda, but he broke it and threw it in the river, like for example. So, but those are like very sweet pastimes, Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda. Disobeying. Usually in this world, disobeying is considered to be very not good, usually, generally. But Lord Nityananda disobeying is to increase the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's glory. Anyway, so at one time, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you go and preach in Bengal, for example. So he did that. He obeyed that, right? Because Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is sannyasi. And he is the Supreme Lord. So he was obeying him. But at certain times he would not obey him. So that's his elder position. But the main aspect of Lord Nityananda, who is Balaram himself, is that he would not kill people. Like in Lord Balaram, everything goes wrong, okay, finish. It's over. But as Nityananda Prabhu, he was always merciful, always. Take the example of Jagai Madhai. Actually, they wanted to kill him. Jagai Madhai wanted to kill him, destroy him basically. They would have to kill him if it were possible for them. But Lord Nityananda immediately, forgave them, and after they become actually devotees, Jagai Madhai become purified. They become chanting holy names for lakhs of holy names a day, perhaps. They're chanting constantly. They become very soft. Their heart became very, malleable, and they had given up their sinful activities completely, and they become saintly. But then still, people had bad memories about them, their misbehavior towards them or towards their family members, the torture that they have created. So those memories are still there in their head. So sometimes when they would see them out of anger, even though they're saintly, they would pick up rocks and throw at them. It would hit them and blood would come out. And they become so saintly that actually they would pick up the rock back and give it to them, please throw again and again, because the once is not enough for us, for our crimes that we committed. So that's how these brothers should behave. And one day, Madhai, who actually hit Nityananda, took the blood out, he went to Lord Nityananda, he said, I feel so bad that actually I can't even imagine how could I hit a person like you. So I'm feeling very, very, he was very remorseful, crying tears. Lord Nityananda said, it's like, you are like my own child. A child sometimes hit, you have seen? Kids sometimes hit their papa like this. Sometimes they hit it hard also. But the fathers keep smiling. Their own child, they keep smiling. So Nityananda said, you are like my child. Like, I don't feel bad at all. And that was his spirit. That was his spirit. So it is said, without Lord Balaram's mercy, we cannot get Krishna. Keno nitai binanai Radha Krishna paitanai. That we cannot. I will end with this. Without mercy of Lord Nityananda, we cannot get mercy of Radha and Krishna. That's the statement. So when there was this Raghunath Das Goswami who wanted to go to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and denounce everything, go to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but he was failing again and again because his parents are capturing him. Big parents are big, they're rich people. There's so many agents, security. So he was not able to break and go there to reach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was not able to do that. So then somebody said, Lord Nityananda has come. Why don't you go there and take his blessings? So he came to serve Lord Nityananda. Lord Nityananda Prabhu said to Raghunath Das Goswami, here is the thief who has come to, come to me. Bring that thief here. And he places the lotus feet on his head. So it is explained why he was called thief. Then it is said because Lord Nityananda, without Lord Nityananda's mercy, you cannot get Radha Krishna, right? That means Radha Krishna combined is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanya. So without Radha Krishna's Nityananda's mercies, Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, we cannot get Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he was trying to get Lord Chaitanya without his mercies. How is it possible? So he said, because you are trying to take away Chaitanya Mahaprabhu without suppose something is my property, suppose something is my car, anybody wants to take it has to have my permission, right? Otherwise they're a thief. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in a way property of Nityananda Prabhu. So he was trying to take away Chaitanya Mahaprabhu without his mercy blessing, then he called, yeah, you are a thief. But then that is lovingly, not accusing. That your thieves come, I will give you whatever you want. And after that, it was very easy for him to attend Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. After that incident, Dahichoda festival, he sponsored, like some of you sponsored Sunday feast. Then you immediately get Nityananda Prabhu's mercy. So Nityananda Prabhu was very happy because he fed thousands of those people. It became so crowded, it was so fun. And the simple, dahi and chuda. Chuda is very simple preparation, very, very simple. Yogurt and soaked poha. Ganga water was there, soak it, put yogurt, put sugar, and this mix it and eat. But because it was, Nityananda Prabhu made it so fantastic, in that simple food, prasad has become wonderful. I can't describe. And many people gathered, and he started purchasing the clay pots and the poha and the chipped rice and the yogurt and the condensed milk. Everything got sold out. Whoever had anything in their shop, in their homes, got sold out. And everybody, there's so much crowd that they had to enter the Ganga. Like 30-40% people are standing inside the Ganga, like this much, and eating dahi chuda from a clay pot. And that was very fantastic. And all these things gave a lot of pleasure to Lord Nityananda. And that's where Raghunath Das Goswami became very relieved from all the obstacles. And he could attend Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So therefore, this Vallabha Jayanti is coming in few days. And we'll be celebrating, I think it's on Thursday. So all of you please come and participate in the program. Welcome. We're about to close though. Welcome. So that's the Thursday. It's coming a good festival day. I think somebody will announce about the exact details of the program that day, or it will be announced on the email. Please take advantage of that program, and it will be nice. So before I stop, is there any questions or comments or reflections? I'll be happy to hear. Any questions or any comments, any reflections? No? Yes?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
Yes,
thank
yes.
you for the amazing lecture. I really thought upon the point that how Duryodhan was so ignorant that he only took the army instead of Krishna. He didn't realize
Yeah.
how that Krishna is so much times he's more wise. He's the supreme personality of Godhead, and Arjun knew that, and Duryodhan didn't, and he was very ignorant in doing so because he kept on fight. He fought with the Pandavas and didn't stop.
Nice, very nice. So what is, we're discussing something about Krishna, Arjuna and Duryodhan. Duryodhan chose to take Krishna's army than Krishna, or Arjuna chose to take Krishna, who's not going to fight the war. And he's saying Duryodhan is so much of ignorance that he chose not to have Krishna. That is actually ignorance. Because if we don't know what is right for us and what is wrong for us, that is ignorance, right? In ignorance, we commit mistakes. In knowledge, we don't commit mistake. Only in ignorance, we commit mistakes. So that was a major mistake by Duryodhan. Although he was not given the chance also, in one sense. But other way, he didn't demand for that. He was happy with the army. Yeah. Therefore, to study the scriptures and understand the truth, it should be one aspect of our life. One aspect of our life. There are different aspects of life we live, but one aspect to understand the Bhagavad Gita, its knowledge, and to apply them in life should be one aspect of our life. Actually, important aspect of our life. And as I started in the class in the beginning, Srila Prabhupada, he brought that knowledge in a time when we are not actually have any idea about whether I should study Gita or not. We don't have that idea, right? Whether I should, that option doesn't exist in our life. We mostly went to temple because our parents told, or we felt some kind of relief, peace. Yes, it is there. And happiness, some kind of spiritual bliss, we get connected. It's there. But more importantly, why such things there? To understand those aspects, we need to understand the literatures, the Bhagavad Gita. Traditionally, it was something that was a part of us, but now, because of the lifestyle, because of the way things are, moved away. Yeah. Thank you. I forgot your name again.
Arman.
Yeah. Thank you. Any other? Anybody else say anything? Any questions? Okay, thank you. So we'll have Kirtan and Arti, then Prasadam for all. Yeah, any questions? You have any question? No? Okay. There will be Prasadam after the end of the program or the Arti. Please take Prasadam and go. You can stay on also. You don't have to go immediately after Prasadam. Okay, thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you all. Offering is going on. थोड़ा सा पहले बोलना चाहिए था मेरे को उठ गए सब. Yeah, you can give the announcement for next Sunday or something.
We have another 10 minutes for Aarti. So if you have, maybe Prabhuji can give some more announcement. I will do Hansa Priya Mataji. I will do Kirtan otherwise.
You can sing, no? Okay, I'll start singing. Just a second, my thread is going down.
Krishna. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Nama Pada Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Jaya Shri Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Gura Chande Arati ko shobha ki bajayo jayo gora chande arati ko shobha ki bajayo Janavi tatavane Jagamana lobha Janavi Dakine nitai chan Vame gadadhara ki badakine Nikhateya dvaita srini Vasachatra dhara Nikhateya dvaita शतचक्रधर वशियाचे गोराचान रत्नसिंहासने किंवा बसी आरती करे न ब्रह्मा आदिदेवगणे आरती करे नर हरि आदि कोरी चामर दुल्हाया दिवनर संजय मुकुंद भाषु घोषादि गाया संजय शिव शंकर बाजे घंटा बाजे बाजे करताल शिव शंकर बाजे मधुर मृदंग बाजे परमरसाला मधुर बहु कोटि चंद्र जीनी वदन उज्ज्वल की बहु कोटि गल देसे वनमाला करे जलमाला शिवा शुक नारद प्रेमे गद गद दिव शिवा शुक नारद प्रेमे गद भक्ति विनोदा देखी गौरर संपद भक्ति शिव जयो जयो गोरा चांदेर आरती को शोभा की बजायो जयो गोरा जानवी ततवने जगमान लोभा जानवी तत गौरांगेरा रोटी को शोभा जग जन मन लोभा गौरांगेरा रोटी को शोभा जग जन मन लोभा गौरांगेरा शंका बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे शंका बाजे शंका बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे शंका बाजे गौरांगेरा रोदिक शोभा जग जन मान लोभा शंका बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे शंका निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल निताय हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Mahaprabhu, Jaya Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu, Jaya Mahaprabhu, Jaya Mahaprabhu. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan, Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Radha. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan, Jai Shri Radhe, Jaya Radha. Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jai Lakshmi Narasimha, Jai Lakshmi Narasimha, Jai Lakshmi Narasimha, Jai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada, Jai Jai. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura. हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय, हरिनाम महामंत्र की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे।
जय जय श्री श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंह भगवान की जय। नमस्ते नरसिंहाय, प्रहलाद लादलायिने, हिरण्यकशिपूर्वक्षः, शिलटङ्कनखालये, इतो नरसिंहा परतो नरसिंहा, यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहा, यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहा, बहिर्नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा, बहिर्नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा, बहिर्नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा, Narasimhamadin Saranam Prapati Narasimhamadin Saranam Prapati Adhakara Kamalabhare Nakhan Adbhuta Sringar Lalita Hiranyakasipu Tanubhenga Savadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisa Hare 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 Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol. श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंह भगवान की जय प्रहलाद महाराज की जय निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे Hare Krishna. Anybody for announcements today? Hansapriya? Please sit. Yeah, please down for a few minutes. For the announcements, then we chant. Next week, the theatre at San Francisco, Golden Gate Park. Yeah, 11 a.m. On Saturday. Next Saturday? Next Sunday. Coming Sunday, 11 a.m. The theatre at Golden Gate. And the exact locations will be announced very shortly. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. How is everyone today? Okay, I don't hear anything. Is everyone all right? Then say big Haribol. I thought that we have much more space and it's nicely cool. I thought you would be even very much happier, no? Yes. I think we miss our family though, right? Anyway, we're very happy to have you this evening. Welcome to the Sunday feast at ISKCON Silicon Valley, which is also known as an ISV. And we have a very exciting week coming up. And starting tomorrow, we're going to have a Julan. So we were going to have a Julan Darshans in the evening. So Lordship, the small deities, they will come on the swing, and you all have opportunity to swing the Lordships. So please come everyone, 8 o'clock. It's a very special program. There would be pujari here. You would get an opportunity to offer a flower and swing yourself. So it's not the pujari swinging, it's going to be you who can have opportunity to swing. And it's also very auspicious Ekadashi, right? Tomorrow is Ekadashi. So it's wonderful to come and chant here. And then we have coming up on Thursday is Balaram Jayanti, is also known as the Balaram Purnima. And Lord Balaram's appearance day, we're going to have also very special guest. Possibility the Maharaj would be here in the evening. So we'll have His Holiness Radha Swami Maharaj with us. So please bring your friends and family and take opportunity of his association. And we will be also have Vaisheshika Prabhu. So we'll have like a double treat. So hopefully you could be here and don't miss out. I know it's a working day, but let your boss know you need to go to appointment, your private and personal appointment with the devotees. And so that would be on the Thursday. And then we have definitely next Saturday morning program. And guess what? What's the next Sunday? San Francisco Rath Yatra at the Golden Gate Park. That's where we're going to be all going to be there, right? So everyone is welcome there. We would not have an evening program at ISV next Sunday, but everyone is welcome. The details can be given out, and you can also look it up on the ISKCON Berkeley program. And we have some flyers, and if you need any more questions where it is going to be, Hari Sankirtan Prabhu can help you out with that. So feel free to talk to him. Hari Sankirtan Prabhu is out serving prasadam, so do not hesitate to reach out to him. So that's what we have upcoming, right? And then we also have festivals around the corner. Janmashtami is on 19th, the Friday. So please mark your calendar for that, and want to make sure that you get most of the hearing and chanting done on that day. So if you want to plan to take your day off, let your boss know ahead of time. And we're going to have, followed by Srila Prabhupada's appearance day, which is a big festival. And we're going to have a lot of Srila Prabhupada disciples. And there is a possibility of having His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj with us on Janmashtami and Srila Prabhupada's appearance day. And of course, you don't want to miss the feast cooked by Srila Prabhupada's disciple and team. So do not hesitate to come on that Saturday. And what with all this festival, what it comes with that is service. So there's plenty of opportunity for the service. We also need, if you can't come and do the physical 1 hour, 2 hours of service, that's wonderful. On Janmashtami day, you can do 4 a.m. to 1 a.m., that's welcome. Also, we need a lot of help after the Janmashtami midnight cleaning and also on the Prabhupada day, Saturday cleaning. So it's a privilege to have this service. This is something that helps us to bond ourselves in devotional service. So do take opportunity and advantage of this. I know it's not a big crowd, but I can tell you that on that day, you would not have this space. So you want to be engaged in some service so that way you can be connected with some or other way with the Lordship, right? It's not just the worship happens only in the altar. Anything that we do outside the altar is extension of the Krishna's altar. So do come get engaged in cooking, cleaning, shuttling. We are expecting around 10,000 people. So we have corporate flyers that you can forward to your friends and family in the corporate. So there's plenty of outreach activities that ISV does. So you want to also share with your friends and family and have them come take a look themselves. All right, without going more details of the festival, we'll be sending out. If you have not had a chance to sign up for the volunteering, do let us know. Venudari Prabhu is outside and we can help you. Tarun Prabhu is outside, he can help you as well. Right, we want to thank today's speaker, Radha Vallabha Prabhu. He spoke and started enlivening us in the mood of how to worship Lord Balaram, what should be our mood going into the Balaram Purnima. And it's a wonderful because any service or any paraphernalia, garlands, everything is Lord Balaram. So any service that you get engaged is actually serving Lord Balaram directly. And Balaram actually is a very, very merciful. You know that Lord Nityananda gave more mercy to Jagai and Madai than the Lord Krishna himself, Lord Chaitanya did. So do take opportunity to get engaged in the service. And then we also would like to thank Hari Sankirtan Prabhu. I believe he's the one who led the Aarti, right? And also, I was sorry, I was cleaning at the shed, so I didn't realize who was doing the Aarti. Radha Vallabha Prabhu, thank you very much for a wonderful program this evening. And we do want to thank Hari Sankirtan Prabhu and Neela Chandra for the tonight's feast. And the tiring work that Tadiya Prabhu did. He lifted almost like 200 pounds of each pot and cleaned out him and Pravan Prabhu because they wanted to get ready so we can cook almost halwa out of 1,000 pounds of butter. It's an incredible task. And we also want to thank our devotee here, Krishna Katha Prabhu, in the back, in the black t-shirt. Not many of you know, but he actually does the shopping and he's helped today to bring the prasadam from the Yogi Plate kitchen. So thank you very much to our speakers, cooks, the servers and transferers, and of course our online broadcast team. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna. Now we'll go into the prasadam prayer and then we'll have prasadam outside. There is plenty of the service to do the chopping for Balaram Purnima, and also we are cleaning out the shed, so you can hang out with us. Hare Krishna.
Mahaprasade Govinde Namo Brahmane Vaishnave Salpa Punya Pratham Rajan Vishwasanaiva Jayate Sharira Vidyaja Janendriya Tahekal Jive Fede Vise Sagare Kalamadhya Jivati Tavamaya Sudurmati Takajeta Kathana Samsare Krishna Badadayamay Parivari Jivajay Soprasadana Dilavai Sayanamrita Pao Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gunagao Premeda ko Sri Chaitanya Nitai Radha Madan Mohan Mahaprasadam ki jai. Please come and take prasad.